guys, we are we are here with a very, very sleepy Gamers Cafe and very tired ferrets. How are you, Fez?
Ow, my back.
You're back.
It hurts.
Fez is doing manual labor, everybody. He's not used to it. But yeah.
Excuse me. I've been doing this job for almost a year now.
On and off. You have you have seasonal breaks.
Yeah, but during that break, I also work manual labor for a shipping company, so
True.
I don't see what your problem is.
Anyway, all right, let's jump into it. So let's go through, and we do have a new patch, and obviously it is the 3.14.0.B patch, because B comes after A.
Let me tell you, folks. It's definitely a doozy, and right now, I would not mind if Evo Cuddy takes 2 weeks on it right now.
Well, we're going to break it all down. And then we're going to talk about the dumpster fire that's Reddit that it is. So, patch database reset, yes. Long-term persistence enabled. Pledge copy disabled. Starting AUC $15 million. Current build is under NDA. Doesn't bother us. We haven't signed it. This patch does not contain all the intended features. Blah, blah, blah. Right, so testing focus. Crusader, Orison landing zones. Law system version 2, surrender. Power Management version 2, which is where we're having a lot of dumpsters burning. And the ship test, limited ships for test is the Aurora MR, the Mustang Alpha, the Gladius 300i, and the Vanguard Warden. In this build, we have made Orison the default spawn location, as well as temporarily enabled the ability to always select a new spawn when joining the PTU. So, known issues. Glass Cloud's own Crusader appear to have moving graphical artifacts that appear as dots. Current clouds still in development and not final. See note at the top of the patch notes. So, current Glass Cloud tech is still in active development and not yet final. There's ongoing work on STF, a collision, which should help alleviate the graphical artifacting, visual dots and clouds. Additionally, we're working on towards having a local VFX for the clouds, similar to glass clouds around the rest stops, which will make a big difference in overall quality. Ship claim will fail with a message, PH, your claim cannot be processed. Please try again. After relogging each claim, it will attempt to result in a duplicate ship showing up in your ASOP. Large, heavy ships will start to fall when in the Crusader's atmosphere. Oof, oof, oof.
There goes my hammerhead.
Well, yeah, I Hammerhead 890, Reclaimer, anything that's that sort of large ship.
It's all the more reason for me to switch over from the frickin' Hammerhead to the Redeemer. Praise Redeemer.
Well, they're all going to fall out of the sky as Orison at the moment. Large frame weight drops around most areas of Orison. Replacement balls have been seated in various consoles in the hospital lobby in Orison, so you can go inside the hospitals. Replacement balls can be seen near transit platforms in Orison. Players can fly ships into areas with no collision at the main concourse of the spaceport in Orison. That'd be interesting. A strange, out-of-place white texture can be seen all across the industrial platform in Orison. Stow prompt is missing from the commodity items, preventing players from storing them in the inventory. All items in the shop, kiosk, and mobiGlas PMA and VMA 3D previews are now glowing green. Radioactive. Own ships are not available to be used in any mode other than firefight. Unable to rent ships, clients will be briefly freezed and the wreck taken, but no ship rental will be granted. Missions do not recognize players entering zone, and AIs are unresponsive and not. Well, it's no big difference there. They're always unresponsive, aren't they? And not visible to players during missions. Cave missions is withdrawn when nearing the planet or the cave. AI ship nameplates are missing and show as placeholders. Tense fog can be seen in the docking port interior and all rest stops with docking. The player has no collision when they are manning or mining the turret of the rock. There is a flashing that occurs intermediately when viewing the VMA in mobiGlas at locations with environmental lighting, and emotes do not work via chat or pit. But we do have new game features. So
Yay!
yeah.
Shiny things.
Gameplay. Law system version 2 surrender. The additional surrender allows players to be arrested without losing their life. An important feature as the game moves closer to the mechanic where the decision to surrender or risk death by firefight. So this is obviously getting more towards the death of a spaceman, stuff like that, right? So feature update: locations further polish past on Horizon landing zone LODs, sets and lighting. Gameplay: the power management capacitor. So replacing the existing power system and integrating capacitors into it. Players will have the ability to manage the amount of extra energy that goes into thrusters, weapons, and shields, making critical decisions on the distribution of energy in order to defend, attack, or pursue evade. This also includes added key binding controls to these changes. The assignment via key F5, F6, F7, F8 reset or power triangle will set the regeneration speed of the thruster, capacitor, shield regeneration, or energy weapon ammo regeneration. The new additions to the capacitor gameplay are wide rework to ship fight and thruster handling, ship behavior, and weapons damage ammo counts. We'll get to that in a sec, guys. So this full rework on ship to bring them closer to the intended roles of the universe, including the intentional release includes the last part of shield balancing and a new tunes for fight support. Capacitor gameplay will make it as long as we continue development. Weapons fire rates and damage have increased drastically. Ammo rates have now been significantly reduced. Energy weapons now have a limited ammo, which is automatically regenerated when the weapon is not being used. Changing assignment to weapons will make energy weapons regenerate ammo faster. Throttling and overclocking is disabled for the time being. Will reevaluate post 3.14. Man turrets have their isolated weapons capacitor system, which allows them to regenerate weapons faster and provide a deeper pool. Shields. Full balance on rework on all shields below size 3 to turn them into a bubble type shield with one shield facing. Removing hardening will redevelop at a later point. So that obviously is going to affect the Banyu Defender and stuff like that have hardening as their shields. Thrusters. Added separate regenerator pool for boost, formerly afterburn. Changing the assignment to thrusters will make it thrust boost bar fill up faster. UI. Added thruster fuel boost bar and a weapon readout on the HUD for each weapon showing ammo state. Slightly changed the meaning of the shield display to reflect the power triangle assignment, disallowing throttle on the shield display. Legacy power triangle is removed and blah 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 blah. So it's now been replaced with energy weapons and true boost. Yeah, okay. Do we want to talk about this capacitor before we start jumping into ships and breakdown?
Sure.
So, what does this mean for the layman gamer, like most people out there? What does this capacitor do? Because it seems like they're going through and they've made it so that the energy-based weapons now have a limited count, right?
Yes, but no. Like,
it recharges, but only when it's not firing. So if you sit there and hold your trigger, for example, you're going to use all the ammo on your energy-based weapons, and then when you let go, it's then going to start to regen.
There might be a cooldown from the moment you cease firing to regenerate much and all that, but essentially, yes.
Yeah. And now you can go through and you can use that power triangle that we used to have, and you can make it so that the capacitors puts more energy into your weapons, thrusters, or shields.
I think so, yeah.
So if you put it into engines, obviously you'll be able to bug out and fly away faster. You put it into shields, obviously your shields will be able to take more hits and increase the duration. Or if you put it into weapons, obviously it gives you more chance to go pew pew pew.
Right.
Right. Is there anything?
And also,
Yep.
um, I think a new weapon meta might be on the horizon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the master drivers
Mm-hmm.
are getting a 2 times weapon damage increase,
All right.
which means that will probably bring them along the lines of the C788, I believe, which is already a top a con, a top contender.
Mm-hmm.
So when you mix in the current top ship, which is the Talon,
Mm-hmm.
and you throw in the the master drivers,
Mm-hmm.
you basically have a Talon with size 3 master drivers, which can be switched to a gimbals. So a gimbaled master drivers with 2 times more damage. Have fun with that.
So hang on, you keep saying Talon. I don't know Talon. The only ship I know is Angry Parakeet.
Ingy parakeet. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So a little joke. We call the Talon the Angry Parakeet chat. Um,
Yeah, because it is kind of angry sometimes.
yeah, well, it's definitely going to get more angry if you can go putting size 3 weapons on it. And for the mass drivers, and they've got a buff, that's for sure. It's definitely going to be
Oh yeah.
very angry now.
Mm.
We might have to call it the very angry parakeet. Alright, so
Oh
apart from
dear.
that, is anything else change? Any other effects of gameplay on how people play the game? Is that basically it? Obviously, keep in mind, Fez hasn't played it. He's just been spending all day reading Reddit instead of doing work, which we appreciate.
More like I have been working all day than actually up Reddit. So
So,
basically, it's the capacitors are going to completely change how we do things from just a simply flying our ship to a landing or things like that.
hmm.
Um. Uh. So yeah, I mean, I believe that the ships will probably feel a bit more different.
How is Reddit handling this change? Because we know that Reddit is the bastion of accepting change when it comes to Star Citizen.
You want to know how they feel right now?
Yeah. How's Reddit
Uh,
feeling?
Re- Reddit is only concerned with the Portalisar being removed, which isn't happening. But that's their main concern right now is it's the POA. It's getting removed.
So they don't care about the
So,
whole thing that rebalances the whole game. They're just worrying about the Port Elazar getting an upgrade.
well, in their words, it's getting removed in entirely because a Porto is not a part of the Crusader system, and it was never meant to be a station for Crusader.
It's funny. It's on the star map.
I know, right? I
Mm.
mean, it's almost as if people cannot read.
It's almost as if people are believing someone when this is it's never supposed to be fun. No, look, guys, we'll answer this question for you now. Port Alazar is going to be there in 2 years. It's going to be there in 5 years. It is part of the star map. It is not going anywhere. What will
It's just getting a makeover.
exactly? What'll
And
happen is you're going.
Probably a change of location, but yeah.
Yeah, so Port Othazar is above Crusader, and it's probably going to end up going from its current size to, from what Fez has heard and what and other people have told me, to something the size of Lawville. That's the difference, right? It's going to be a huge platform that's going to rival any of these other stations that we've seen before. Like, you go out to like Crusader L1 and all that, and you think these platforms are large. You wait till you see Port Olisar. It is going to be effing huge. And it should be, because it's the major spaceport for the whole of logistics of the Stanton system. Everything that comes into Port Olisar, everything that comes into Stanton passes through Port Olisar. It is a major hub. Now, interesting enough, we have the whole C coming in, and I think it's the 16 patch. Is it 16?
Actually, I'm really not for sure.
Let's see. Right, so roadmap. Expand all categories. Yeah, so the whole C is coming in 3.16. I would expect maybe the new Port Olisar to start happening around then. That would be my explanation. Because otherwise, what the whole C is going to dock to. And I would say 316, I would say we're more likely probably going to get jump points too. Yeah?
I mean, if you ask me, I think the thing is going to be the ship is not the ship. The station is going to be reworked when they bring in the changes for Crusader version 2.
Yeah, that's 316.
Yeah, well, 316. Sorry, I'm not listening too much.
No, it's fine. And what I was going to say was in 316 is actually patch 4. He never listens to that. Patch for the end of the year. That is after CitizenCon. I can tell you now what I think is going to happen. CitizenCon, we are going to have jump points between Stanton, Pyro, and Nynx. And we're going to have travel with the whole sea, allowing you to transfer goods. But we'll talk about this in another video. Alright, so apart from that, obviously ships and vehicles. Right, so ships and vehicles. Canvas sliced ship HUDs. Updated all ship HUDs to use the new canvas slice system, providing providing an improved layout that maximizes screen real estate and provides more information and depth to pilots. Players will now see the universe bearing along the top of the edge. We'll now see a universal bearing, along the top edge. Pitch ladder has moved from the center of the player's vision to along the right side. We've added 3D verticality and acceleration meters on the bottom corner. Claiming a ship no longer restocks missiles or torpedoes. Oh, interesting. There goes that little hack sort of thing. We've made missiles and torpedoes no longer restock when the ship is claimed through insurance on the ASOP terminals. Well, at the moment, you can't claim anything on the ASOP because it's busted. Players will need to restock a ship manually through the landing services after reclaiming. With this change, we have to reduce the base wait time for all insurance claims. So you'll no longer have to wait as long, but when you do get your ship, you're going to have to restock and rearm. Increased inner thought text size for ship medical beds. Set preferred ICU. Thank God it was pretty small. Adjusted the pilot, co-pilot, seat animation, and height in the hammerhead. Major bug fixes. The ship should no longer fall to restock so it should no longer fail to restock ammo or missiles or torpedoes when using the restock device services. Glass surfaces should no longer be seen flashing around Orison. Large heavy ships should no longer fall when in Crusader's atmosphere, which is weird because it still has it as one of the major bugs. So they might have fixed it, they mightn't have fixed it, depending on if you have that problem or not.
I mean, we've seen this before where they said, so there's a bug, and yet we fixed it.
Yeah.
But it's a bug, though.
And the bug normally still is there. So it's normally, they fix it in some areas, but it might still occur some other ways. Obviously, there's like 5 or 10 different ways a bug can appear. Fix multiple replacement balls can be seen around the base of trees around various habitation platforms in Orison. Female Orison tourist NPC hair should no longer be stretched when viewing her from a distance. While she is sitting, no more stretchy hair. RSI Mantis Quantum Snare should no longer place a criminal charge on itself. Well, that would be interesting. Fixed a Versa issue that is presenting when entering and exiting elevator on hab floors on Orison. Fixed an issue causing a Constellation's landing gear to not function. Space security AI should no longer T-pose in landing zones. Fixed an issue. We've had that before. Spaceport security AI should not. Fixed an issue causing players to see a motion blur effect with multiple lights around the PU. So security patrols should no longer sometimes ignore the player if they have a crime stat or become hostile. Sparkjet Pro power plants should now show the correct size and grade of the components. Fixed an issue causing pilots' weapons HUD to no longer be visible after entering and exiting the turret. As hen helmets should no longer cause the player to suffocate when in outer space. That's probably a good thing. And turning a ship into no-fly zone, turning ships into no-fly zones at Area 18 should no longer result in the autopilot pulling players to the ground. They fixed 15 client crashes, 5 server crashes, and 3 lines are left. I don't know what those 3 lines are because it cut out on me. I'm guessing it's something like fix the deadlock and stuff like that.
Maybe.
Alright guys, as for that, very quickly, we're going to wrap this video up. It's been 22 minutes. Fez, overall thoughts on 3.14.b? What are your thoughts?
Well, seeing how this is the second patch for Evo Coddies, it's looking pretty rough, but that's not normal, though.
Yeah, so I would expect this probably go to wider PTU probably next week sometime. Maybe even late next week. I wouldn't expect this to hit PTU for subscribers and concierge this week. Normally it gets
this
up to,
week, no.
Yeah, normally it gets up to around F, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Around G, normally, F or G patch before it gets to us. Normally we get it on a H patch. So if that's the case, I would say, yeah, we've still got probably at least just over a week, under a week or more, maybe.
I wouldn't mind if they keep it for a week or two.
A week? I'll be fine with a week, yeah.
Well, yeah, but here lately, it's been like hit or miss with the builds. Like one, like on one a day, they would have a build. The next day, a build would fail. Then a day after that, a new build. So once we start seeing the builds that are coming out on a daily flow, then should be all right. And then at that point, I feel like it would only be like a week or so.
Yeah, I would say we may get it early next week, but I would say we're probably leaning towards the end of next week. which kind of sucks because I have to work next weekend. But what I was going to say was, at the end of the day, look, obviously, I just want it when it's ready, right? Obviously, I don't want him to rush it to get it to us because while Evercardi is dealing with this, we've still got other games we can play. We still play Atlas, we can still play Imperium, we can still play base Star Citizen. So I'm not worried about getting it in a hurry. I am interested in the fact that there has been no mention of item cache, and I'm wondering if that is what's causing the game to crash. Is them putting in, they're starting to rework this item cache into the game. That for the game to fail like it is, it has to be something big. So it's, for example, Orison completely crashing the game because there's too much stuff there to load, or something like a back-end service like item cache or something. Now, we haven't heard anything about item cache. According to my last informant, it was supposed to be coming in around this time, but he did say it was starting to come in. So, it's only going to be small notices that we notice at the start. But I haven't heard anything yet. So I'm interested to find out if this actually has item cache put into it, and if that's actually what's causing it to crash, or if it's something like Orison just being like really, really like graphics intensive. Has there been any mention of item cache? Do you know?
No, but we can definitely say for sure though that right now the most hardest hit zone right now is Crusader, as far as performance wise goes, because I was told that right now the general the performance report is like an average of 10 to 15 frames per second with a 100% usage on your GPU.
But that's just optimization. Obviously, they just can go through and optimize that. At the moment, they'd be more worried about getting it stable than optimizing.
I mean, yeah, but that's still pretty concerning. I mean,
No, it's not. Not at all. Most games unoptimized are going to get around the single figures for FPS. People don't realize how big of a difference optimization makes to a game FPS. I would expect Star Citizen to have around 10 to 15 frames being unoptimized. If they were getting any more than that, I would sit there and be concerned because I'd be like, well, hang on, that means it's not loading something. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. They have to go through and they have to optimize it. And especially when they start bringing in DirectX 12 and Vulkan, that's going to make a huge difference. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Anything else before we wrap up?
Or? Gib Redeemer, but other than that,
that's the next patch, though, isn't it? That's like 15.
Yeah, next patch. I can't wait.
We both have one, guys. So obviously, when the Redeemer comes out, we will be obviously showing it off because we do both own it. So
and also we will be showing off the A2, the Infernal, and the other one.
Yeah, Fez has those, so he'll be able to show those off to you guys as well. All right, I did need to go to the toilet, so I'm going to wrap this up. And guys, yeah, obviously let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think item cache is coming? Do you think it's been delayed? Maybe I might make a Spectrum post and link it, and you guys can upvote it, and maybe we'll get an answer. Apart from that, guys, obviously, what's your thoughts on the game, on the new patch? Are you keen for it? Are you like, nah? Let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Obviously, Ferrets does stream, and he has a YouTube channel. Links are in the description below. Please go give the little marsupial a little bit of love. And apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next patch. Have a great day, and enjoy. Want to say bye?
Bye. I wasn't on Reddit.
See you guys.